personally to be out there and with Derek throwing you the ball again?
Felt great. Obviously, we're not really trying to take any more victories out of it, but we did a lot of good things out there. Goddamn, Darren. A lot of good stuff to build off of, but we did fall short. So winning is the goal in this league and for this team specifically. So we got to tighten up and come back ready to play next week.
You said that you didn't really know exactly what to expect coming into this game. Were you surprised, like, he went to you on the first play, and you were such a big part of the offense, so many targets so early on from the start. Were you surprised by that much volume in your game for this one?
No, not at all. That's what they brought me here for, to be a big part of this offense and help move the ball and put points on the board. So that's my job. That's what I'm ready to do. I'm a volume type guy, so I'm always ready for that. And if the game goes any other type of way, then we'll adjust and we'll deal with that too. But that means that somebody else is probably handling their business and we're able to move the ball. So most important part is for this offense and team to do well, obviously. But if I'm a big part of it on any given week, I'm expecting that.
Did you talk about that first play? A lot kind of coming in, like to make sure not make sure, but like get the first play out of the way and get it to you right away.
Yeah, we didn't talk too much about it, but that's kind of what this camp has been like. Just giving me opportunities to go out there, get in space, and make some plays. So just got to capitalize on as many of them as possible.
The ball you put in your bag, is that the touchdown?
Yeah.
I guess what does that mean to you?
It's just it's kind of I turned the page and kind of starting a new chapter in my career. So to be able to get in the end zone, for my childhood team is something that meant a lot to me. Obviously didn't end up winning the game with it, but at the end of the day, it still means a lot.
Davante, you guys were still in it down the stretch despite the turnovers and maybe some missed opportunities. Do you kind of view that as maybe something that's frustrating as offense or encouraging for what you could potentially do?
I look at it as something that's encouraging because, we beat ourselves today, really. That's not taking anything away from that team over there because that's a really good team. They did a lot of good things today, but you turn the ball over the way that we did today and then you still have an opportunity to go down and win. It says a lot about you as a team fighting through adversity, and still, our defense did their thing in the second half. We just got to find a way to, take care of the ball a little bit better and go down there and win. So I look at it as something that, we can feed off of moving forward and, try to keep it as positive as possible.
Speaking of the turnovers, what did you see on the one that was intended for you in the end zone? Were you hoping to make a play on the ball in the corners? What did you see on that?
Yeah, I definitely could have made a better play on that. I kind of wanted to wait and let it drop into the basket, and that guy made a great play. He kind of fell off of the corner late and ran back there. I didn't think he would get there that quick, and then he made a good play. But I could have helped Derek out on that for sure. Coming back to it, I thought he bumped into me a little bit, but if I would have come back to the ball a little bit better, I think it would have been a little bit more obvious for the ref to be able to call it. But can't let opportunities like that slip away. We got to maximize those because all camp we have, we've made those plays and. I felt really good about it, and I still feel really good about it. That play doesn't change anything, but definitely a lot that I could have done on that play to prevent that.
How frustrating was it to not get to throw the ball?
It was frustrating to lose yards. I'm not going into every game thinking, I really want to throw the ball today, but, that was obviously the design of that one, so I wish we could have got it off. It looked like Hunter was covered anyway, so I'm not sure what that would have looked like, but that's definitely not how we drew it up, so next time we definitely got to do a little bit better job.
How's your arm?
Amazing.
I hate to even ask you this because I got here late, man. I was going to talk with Derek and Coach, but to finally get back on the field with DC, some of you guys had good cohesion, kind of like riding a bike.
Yeah, I think you saw it today. It's a lot of good things we did out there. Obviously, could have connected on even more. I think there's more opportunities out there, but it's the first week. That doesn't dictate a whole lot. Obviously, you want to come out the gate as strong as possible and put yourself in a good position to kind of feed off of that going into the next week, obviously. But I don't think anybody in here is too rattled by it. It's obviously would have been better with a W today, but like I said before, because that was actually the very first question. But a lot of good stuff to feed off of and just use that momentum that any of that we can moving forward.
How much of the missteps were is the first week and just trying to get it all together as an oil unit?
I don't know. You gotta sometimes see the tape sometime and dissect all of that. But definitely there was some stuff today. But the mistakes we made today are stuff that a lot of teams make week 16. So at the end of the day, we're not beating ourselves up too much about it. That's what the film is for. Come back. Nobody wins the season week 1. that's just a fact of the matter. We're gonna come back. We're gonna be hard on ourselves because that's the type of team we are. That's the type of players we have that can take that. So be hard on yourself and find a way that you could have performed better, so you can go and capitalize on some of those opportunities that we missed the next week.
It was a little noticeable that the Chargers defensive backs, they were trying to get a little chippy with you. You kind of talking that talk back. How much fun is it just to go out there and compete?
It's a lot of fun, man. I don't know about a lot of those guys doing that. I think there was one play maybe where something happened, but I don't really. It is what it is. I'm not tripping off of that.
You want to reference the time you turned whoever around in circles? I think on the 41-yard.
Yeah, I think that was homeboy he was talking about. That was getting a little mouthy, yeah. And we made a pretty good play on that. I mean, we got him back, I guess.
Yeah, I think yeah.
You'll enjoy his reaction when you watch the tape on it.
Yeah, but he'll enjoy the reaction that they got a W today. So he won overall, but definitely won that play, I guess you can say.
You guys all good?
Thanks, man.
That game as well helped contribute.
Yeah, that's true. The things that we set out to do as far as standards didn't accomplish today. It just was what it was today. So we got to find a way to get better. 16 more opportunities at least. So you got to look at it from a standpoint of being urgent about getting better and being honest about what it looks like, but also not beating yourself over the head with a sledgehammer because it's a marathon, But yeah, we didn't live up to our standard today.
Is it more frustrating or hopeful that, in spite of it all, you guys were a player or two away from maybe winning this game?
It's a little bit of both, especially frustrating with the turnovers and long assignments and stuff like that, but also hopeful as well from the way that guys fought and were in position to win the game, go down there and take the lead. But yeah, so I think it's a little bit of both.
What kind of went into the team, despite having the turnovers and interceptions in the second half, kind of keeping your composure to where you were able to be in a situation and maybe have a chance to win going down the stretch?
You got a lot of level-headed guys, a lot of guys that can stay in the middle ground. So like that. When things come out and have a great touchdown like we had to start second half, like some guys may get too high on that, and then it's like you have a turnover. It's like some guys may get too low, but we have a lot of guys that can just stay in that middle ground. And that's what it's like on Sunday to Sunday. Sometimes it doesn't go the way that you'd like it to go, but you can always control how you respond to things. So I'm proud of guys for that.
In terms of cohesiveness, we all understand that the team or the team's offensive skill players didn't play in the preseason. In terms of cohesiveness, how did it feel in that first quarter? Do you feel like it kind of clicked right away, or did it take some time to click?
I feel like there were things especially on that first drive where we kind of marched down the field, and then it was tough to kind of build a rhythm after that in the first half. But yeah, there was there are plenty of little things that we got to work on, but I think that there were signs of what we can do as well early on in the game and throughout.
Like we're ready to go because if it affects you, then you're going to go out there and run against Bosa and Mac. So you just got to keep a level head and then just keep ready.
As a unit, does it make it any more difficult to kind of build a rhythm when you have so much change going on like that?
I think that we're all familiar with each other, and we learned a lot about each other today. So I think we have a lot of positives going into the next week. Obviously, there's more we can do to help the team win the game. But I think that we, since we're all familiar with each other since training camp, that it doesn't matter who's next to us, we're going to ball regardless. Because if you let that affect you, in this league, there's no excuses. You got to ball out regardless. So, you can't use, I had a different right guard next to me as an excuse. I had a different left guard next to me as an excuse. You really have to go out there and do your job to the highest ability. And, that's what's expected of all of us. And we expect that out of each other, too.
Jermaine, did you know that was going to be the case?
They told us that there was a possibility of that going on, so it was in the back of our heads. But, going out there, I'm not going to be like, when are they going to take me out on a freaking little Mac out there? Right. And, it's 3rd and long. So, they prepared us for it. But, it wasn't something I was thinking about too much.
Do you feel like there's a message behind that at all?
No, I think that, I personally think that everyone on the offensive line in our room is able to play at a high level. and it's a competition every single day. We really have to go out there and solidify our spots, and we do that through the way we play. So, I don't think there's no hidden message behind it. I just think that we just got to play good and do our thing out there, and keep Derek clean, and everything else will fall into place.
What do you feel your takeaway from the performance of the offensive line?
I think that there's a lot of positives. Obviously, we were put in certain situations. Damn, I didn't know there was going to be a bunch of cameras out to put a shirt on. I think that there's a lot of positives we can take from this game. I think there's a lot of young guys too. We've got a bunch of solid reps. So, we have a lot to build off of. Coach is going to the podium. And we definitely have a lot to, we have a lot to work on this week, but there's a lot of things you can take away from this game that was real good. And, nothing's ever going to be perfect. There's no one in the NFL, especially on offensive line, has ever had a perfect game. There's always been one play where some things come wrong. So I think that going forward we're in a good place. Obviously we need to go out there next week and execute the game plan to the fullest so we can come out with a W.
In the second half, it seemed like you guys had a little bit more success running the football. Is there anything that changed or adjusted in the second half?
No, not really. I feel like the first half we didn't really have the ball too much. Second half we kind of got a chance to sink in and play ball a little bit more. So I think that was just the mindset behind that.
And what just the amount of runs in general, you guys didn't run it too often. Was that just a factor from behind or just the game plan in general?
I think it was a combination of the two. One thing I do know that we're going to play however we feel is best for that week. So one week we might run the ball a lot, the next week we might throw the ball a lot. And I feel like every guy on this team has bought into that. So however it played out is just how it played out.
As you mentioned, you did have some more success later in the game. Did it enter your mind a couple times when you guys were close to the goal line? You were like, you want to have that ball, you want to run it instead of pass it?
I knew what we was doing our game plan throughout the week. I slipped on the one run, which was a clear, easy walk in. So I just put that on me. We got to be better.
As offense, you guys had a few turnovers and made some plays. Like I said, that play where you scored and then still
in the game. Yeah,
you have a chance to win. How do you view that? Is it frustrating or?
It's definitely both. Definitely both. I'll say it's frustrating because you're this close, and in this league, 3 to 4 plays change the whole dynamic of the game. But I'm just happy that the guys, going through all that adversity that we went through and still being in a position to win the game. I think that just speaks volumes, testament to the type of team that we have.
How quickly do you check this one out, look it on film, and then clear it and move on to Arizona?
I already know the plays where I have to look at myself, and it's like, it wasn't no miss assignments, it's just about execution. So that's kind of frustrating on my part, speaking for myself. But man, I think it's unique because I have an opportunity to come in, man, and focus on the things that I feel like I didn't do as well, and then try to apply it for next week.
Do you feel any of the lack of